Mr. Limada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, you won't just start all reading. I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning and welcome to Storytime. Thank you for joining in. Glad you're here with us today. Oh my goodness, it is indeed. I'm hoping for you as well. A happy Wednesday. It has been hot out here in Oakland, and yes, I hope that I know that the electric company was announcing that there'll be outages here and there. I hope that your area was not too affected. Thank you so much for joining in today and welcome to Storytime. Glad that we're here together. Another amazing story here for us today. Coming back to Storytime today. Excited for this one. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Please let us know where you are and indeed who is joining in with you. Of course, good morning to you, Sharon Lungo and Soraya. Good to see you back here on Storytime Live. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that your school year is going well. Thank you indeed. And I hope that all the kids out there, I hope whatever modified lunch recess is going on for you who are in areas affected by the heat wave. I hope that we're making sure that we are staying protected and indeed carrying those hats and everything else that we need and not staying too long out in the sun. Thank you so much for joining in today and welcome. And wherever else you are, I hope that it is okay and indeed that you are having a wonderful time. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And like the book we're reading today, there is a rainbow. Yes, so many things are happening, but there is a rainbow. Let's look at that. Just look in the far distance. That rainbow is there. Thank you so much for being here and joining in Storytime. There is a rainbow coming to you from THERESA, TRINDER, and illustrations by SNIDER. And of course, reading this one with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Good morning to you and welcome. Get ready for this one. It is a good one indeed, one that we will revisit many times. And of course, if it's your first introduction to it, well, you're in for a treat as well. Enjoy it. Get ready, get comfortable, get cozy, because we do have a lovely book with us today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime and welcome. Well, good morning to you one more time, Soraya, and of course, Sharon Lungo. Welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in. How are you doing today? Good morning to you, Marietta. Thank you so much for joining in. Out in Massachusetts, had 2 full days of rain and it was fantastic. Oh, I can only imagine. Please send some of that rain out here to California. Much needed. In the studio today, making more space. Oh, well, all the best with that. I know you mentioned that. Well, keep on going, and cannot wait to see the before and after pictures. And yes, Nick, good job out there. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And I'm glad that, Marietta, you're there creating space, and I know the beautiful work that is coming from there. Thank you for joining in Story Time, and we're glad to be, keeping you company today as you are working on your studio. Thank you so much for joining in. Happy Wednesday, and of course, sending love to Henry as well. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Good morning to you, Sarah and Nathan out in Illinois, and of course, Amanda. We're sending you love, 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 love from all the way out here in Oakland. And I know everybody else that is watching is sending you love. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time all the way out in sunny Illinois. Thank you so much for joining in today. Absolutely love it that you're here with us. Hope everyone in California are finding ways to stay cool and are staying safe. Or we're trying for sure. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, Marietta. We are trying, and yeah, it's been windows sleeping with windows open and trying to find everything. Yesterday, I think here we froze some cloth towels, and we're using that on the foreheads and stuff. So all kinds of tricks that we're trying out here. If you have any, send them my way. My favorite though is the ice cream bit. Yes, I've been loving that. Thank you so much for joining in. Good morning to you, Tara McNamara, and he's saying good morning from Overcast, Massachusetts. Clara loved her first day of school and also loves rainbows. Oh my goodness, yes, what a combination. Thank you so much for joining in. Erin is here and eager to play outside. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Give us a minute, Erin. When we're done with the story, the outside is all yours. Thank you so much. Oh, you know what? Better still, take your device with you and listen to Story Time while you play outside. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Absolutely appreciate you. Pamela Courtney, thank you for joining in. From Braylon and Chad and Auntie Ann from Nakitosh in Louisiana. Well, good morning to you too. Thank you so much for joining in today, and say another wonderful day. Please, everyone, take care. Be careful in this heat. Summer without air conditioning with 106-degree weather. Yes, prayers. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's been crazy numbers that I've been seeing out there. 114. We've seen daily records, just broken. We've seen year-long, decades-long records being broken. So please be careful out there. Indeed, like Pamela Courtney and Braylon and Chad and Antiana saying, please be careful out there. Take care. Let's do those basics. And then, of course, too, if there are any spaces, if it's needed, if there are any spaces to be in, cooling centers or something, please let's find our way and try and use those spaces. Hopefully, we can get there, or we have means to get there. Indeed, like you're saying, prayers to all of you. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And this is the time really we need to be checking in on those our elderly neighbors, our neighbors that might not be feeling too well, and we need to be can we be there for them, please? Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Absolutely appreciate you all. Good morning. Borden and I will watch when he gets home from school this afternoon. We love this book. Oh, thank you so much for joining in, Borden. I hope that your school is going well. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. We'll send you hugs, and you'll find them when you get back home in the afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Chrissy Mitchell Adams, oh, thank you so much for being here on Story Time. Absolutely love it. Thank you indeed. Mariana's work is absolutely amazing. So woohoo to the best space of your for your masterpieces. Oh yes, indeed. I absolutely agree with you. Thank you so much for joining in. So glad Clara's had a great first day at school. Yes, indeed. It is many changes happening, especially when they're coming back from the holidays, from the break, and getting back into it. So if anything that makes that first day wonderful, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time, everybody. Get ready for a story for today. And this one is coming back to Story Time after a while, but trust me, it will be back again and again and again. Yes, this one is called rainbow. There is a rainbow. And this one is coming to you from THERESA, TRINDER, and illustrations by Grant Snider. And we're reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Get ready, get comfortable, get cozy. Go, 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 go. Go and grab that snack that you need for story time. Grab everything that you need. Get ready. Join me on the other side of this short break when we're back for our story for today and we get to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here with us on Story Time today. Appreciations all around.
This is Anika Rose-Reese, author of The Teacher's Pet, Watch Out for Wolf, Love Sophia on the Moon, the Anna Banana chapter book series, and Hide and Don't Seek and other very scary stories. And you are watching Story Time with Mr. LaMotta.
Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely love it. And yes, Watch Out for Wolf, Teacher's Pet, one of my favorites. And of course, if you've not read Hide and Don't Seek, it is definitely one that will give you the spooks. It's definitely a good one to enjoy if you're looking for some scary stories. I loved it. And of course, if you want to see it, there's also, we read the first chapter here on Story Time. So if you look out for Hide and Don't Seek, you can get to enjoy that and get to see if it's your kind of book. Thank you so much for joining in today. Here we go. There is a rainbow. This one is written by THERESA, TRINDER, and illustrations or pictures by Grant Snider, and reading it with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Here we go. There is a rainbow. Written by THERESA, TRINDER. Illustrations by Grant Snider. And read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A story has a beginning and an end. A story has a beginning and an end. There is a here, there is a there. So true, isn't it? A story has a beginning and an end. There is a here and there is a there. And there is something in between. Yes, the story has a beginning and an end. There is a here and a there. And there is something between, in between. On the other side of the screen, it's there. What's on the other side of the screen? On the other side of the screen, what is there? There is a school. On the other side of the screen, there is a school. I think Zoom school has its place, right? Maybe those days when there's storms and stuff and we can't go to school, we can't be physically in our spaces. Maybe that is the time to use it. But I'm glad that we've been able to get back into our classrooms. There is a school on the other side of the screen. On the other side of a window, what is there? On the other side of the window, what is there? Well, there is a neighbor. Oh. On the other side of the window, there is a neighbor. Oh. We've got this. Thank you, heroes. Yes. On the other side of the window, there is a neighbor. On the other side of the street, what is there? On the other side of the street, there is something. What is it? On the other side of the street, well, there is help. Aww. On the other side of the street, there is help. Aww. Indeed. On the other side of town, what is there? On the other side of town, who is there? What is there? On the other side of town, well, there is a voice. Aww. Yes, indeed. On the other side of town, there is a voice. The beauty of technology, isn't it? We can reach our loved ones even though they're far away. On the other side of town, there is a voice. On the other side of the river, what is there? On the other side of the river, what do you think? What is there? Wow. There is a light. There is light. I'm sorry. Yeah. On the other side of a river, there is light. Oh, look at that. So beautiful. There is light. On the other side of a mountain. Oh my. Maybe not hiking weather in California today, but hopefully where you are, you can still get to enjoy the outdoors. On the other side of a mountain, what is there? On the other side of a mountain, well, there is a path. Oh. So don't give up. Get over that hill. There is a smooth path on the other side. On the other side of a mountain, there is a path. On the other side of sadness, what is there? On the other side of sadness, what is there? On the other side of sadness, well, there are hugs. Oh, yes. Much needed hugs, right? On the other side of sadness, there are hugs. Oh. On the other side of a storm, what is there? Did I hear you right? What's on the other side of a storm? On the other side of a storm, what is there? There is a rainbow. On the other side of a storm, there is a rainbow. On the other side of today, what is on the other side of today? On the other side of a storm, there is a rainbow. on the other side of today, there is tomorrow. Indeed, there is tomorrow, and we look forward to it. Thank you so much for joining in today on Storytime. And before we finish our book, let me just go through the author's note. And remember, this was written during the pandemic. This book, well, the start of it, and so. Here we go. It says here on the author's note, in the spring of 2020, I wrote this book while staying home with my family to help stop the spread of COVID-19. There was loss, there was fear, but there were children, and all over the world, they painted rainbows in their windows and drew messages on the ground to remind the world that we are in this together. My boys wanted to bring a rainbow to their grandmother, but they were struggling with social distancing. So I put on a mask and gloves and delivered their rainbow myself. I held my mom's hand a moment, then called from the car, "See you on the other side." I thought we will see each other on the other side. Yes, there are sad goodbyes, but there will be joyous reunions. And even though we can't reach out and touch the one another right now, we can see each other, truly see one another if we try. It comforts me to think of families reading this book a year or many years from now, and to hope they are looking back on this time from a place that is safer, happier, more generous, and more just. I wonder if the rainbows will still hang in the windows. Yes, we've got this. We're in this together. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. We'll be right back after this short break. Join me on the other side.
Hello, I'm Olalu Ogunyemi, officer in the United States Marine Corps and author of Crow from the Shadow. You are tuned in with my brother on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. Enjoy, and God bless.
Thank you, Olaolu, indeed, and welcome back. This was our book for today. There is a rainbow, and even just reading it now, I think those the message that THERESA puts in here when says it comforts me to think of families reading this book a year or many years from now, and to hope that they are looking back on this time from a place that is safer, happier, more generous, and more just. I wonder if the rainbows will still hang in the windows. It has been an eventful few two plus years, and I already feel like the rainbow is beginning to show, or has shown. Indeed, we've been able to get back with loved ones. There's been vaccines out there that people have been able to get so they can see their loved ones, and so much has happened. And I just want to appreciate that too, and to think, like the book says, on the other side of today there is tomorrow, there is hope, there is that rainbow to look forward to. So I hope that indeed, for those of you that have not been able to reunite with your loved ones, I hope that happens soon. And I know that we keep going through these highs and lows of different things happening, different variants and so on, but we're still able to see each other. I hope we're still able to, hopefully technology has allowed, better communication and so many things to look forward to, and just keeping everybody at heart, and indeed wishing everybody the best. And as we go through this, because even just from the start, you can see that there's been progress, there's been a lot that has happened, and I am glad. Of course, too, we think of, we had an election in there too, and I think it was good change. It was needed. So please don't forget to turn up and vote every time. We need it. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. This has been Storytime for today. There is a rainbow. I enjoyed it so much. I hope that you did too. And remember to find it where you find books, at your local library, and of course wherever else that you find books. Look out those small libraries, the mini libraries in your neighborhood. Grab a copy, read it with us here on Storytime. But please don't forget to join us again tomorrow for more Storytime. And this time we'll be back with we became Jaguars. This one coming to you from Dave Eggers and Woodrow White. So join in for this one tomorrow. And indeed, we will be out in the jungle. We will be Jaguars tomorrow. Join in and have those clothes out ready for some fun. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. This has been Storytime today, sending you hugs and love. And one more time, let us see who was with us and just say good morning to you. Appreciations all around. Thank you. Good morning to you, Susan Adrian. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. And to say good morning. Keep cool, everybody. Yes, indeed. Much needed. Please remember to stay hydrated. Put on sunscreen. Carry that hat with you. Much needed today. And of course, if you are able, if you have the means, I hope that you have you're in a space that indeed can keep you cool. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Umbrellas are a good help too. They're not just for the rain. Take them out today. Protect yourself from the intense sun. And of course, hydrate. We cannot say that enough. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. To everybody that joined in, thank you for being here. Good morning to you one more time. Soraya, glad to have you back here on Storytime. I'm glad that you're here with us enjoying Storytime. Thank you indeed for being here. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Marietta. I hope that your work in your space goes well. Yes, that creative space needing all the love. Thank you so much for joining in indeed, so that the work that comes out has even greater love to it. Thank you so much for joining in and wishing you the very best. Thank you for being here. Marietta, and of course Henry, sending you love as well, and hopefully see you soon here live on Storytime. Thank you so much, Amanda West, for joining in. Sarah and Nathan out in sunny Illinois. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoy your time out there. And indeed, some love from Marietta saying, hope everyone in California are finding ways to stay cool and staying safe. We're trying. Thank you so much for those positive vibes. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you indeed. Good morning to you from overcast Massachusetts. I hope you get to have a fun time outside. Clara, enjoy the second day of school too. Have fun and please continue sharing with us your joys of school. Thank you for being here with us on Storytime. Erin, appreciations to you, sweetheart. Thank you so much for joining in. Love. And of course, Tara McNamara, sending you love as well. And I hope that you enjoy your time outside. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, yes. Pamela, Courtney, Braylon, Chad, and Tian in Nakitosh, Louisiana. You say another beautiful day. Please, everyone, take care. Be careful in this heat. Summer without air in crazy numbers that we're hearing out there. So please be safe. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely love it. Bolden, I hope you enjoy this when you get back. Hugs to you, and have fun. Thank you so much for joining in. Bolden out in Burlington, Vermont. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime. Yes, indeed. Couldn't agree more. Marietta's work is brilliant. Thank you so much for joining in and indeed making that space of creativity even better. Thank you so much for joining in. And Clara, yes, the community is glad that you had a great first day of school, and we wish you a beautiful second day, third day, fourth day, and the rest of the year. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime with me, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow when we are back with our clothes out ready for some fun, and we will be Jaguars. We became Jaguars, coming to you tomorrow from Dave Eggers and Woodrow White. Join me for this one tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. Much love to each and every one of you. Susan Andrian, thank you for being here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you, and I hope that your new chapter, your new project is going well. Thank you so much for being here. Hugs, everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, it brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Hey, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.